Okay, from gas prices to groceries, you may have noticed you're spending more on just about everything these days. Here to give us an update on the inflation that's affecting us all is Brent Wilsey, president of Wilsey Asset Management. Brent, good morning. Great to see you.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Let's start with the very basics. What is inflation specifically, and what causes it?
Sure. Let's put some numbers on here because the CPI, known as the Consumer Price Index, that was up 7.9% year over year. The one we watch also is Producer Price Index. That's what producers are paying, and that's up 10%. The concern is that if they're raising their prices, they'll have to pass it on to the consumer, having more problems there. But what inflation is how it's measured. This is where people get a little bit confused because, yes, certain things you pay for are up, but it is a basket of about 200 different items in that basket of inflation, that CPI. And some will affect you, some will not. It's a weighted index, so some are more important than others. But it really is that it's a loss of purchasing power. You used to be able to buy something for $1, now it costs $1.25. So it's a loss of that purchasing power is what it is. And it's caused by a shortage of goods and services. So we don't have enough goods coming through, so therefore the prices will rise. Now, I do want to always try to give some good news here. The good news is we've been watching the ports off of LA, and actually the containers used to be about 100 ships off the coast there. That's now been cut in half, and that was back in January, down to about 50 now. So we should start seeing more goods coming on through, which should help ease prices, maybe even lower prices a little bit.
And how soon do you think that might happen?
It probably takes about 30 to 60 days for things to go from start to finish. You don't have to be unloaded, get to the destination by train, by truck, get to the stores and so forth. So I would say, depending on the items, probably 30 to 60 days. The other good thing, too, here is that, and I know that oil has come up quite a bit. I looked at the oil futures going out to December, and they're looking at $88 a barrel below where they are now. So it does take some time, but the good news is we're not going to be on this trajectory that we're on now to where things just keep going up and up and up at these crazy levels.
How about our elected officials? How culpable are they in all of this?
Wow, that's a tough one. I would say to some degree they are, because you've got to open up things. You've got to make things easy to produce. And we all know about the oil situation. We need to just open the oil. And we've had permits cut. We had leases cut. We've had pipelines shut down. That hurts. And oil is a big factor because it's used in so many different things, and including the transportation. So if the politicians, I think they know this. We're hearing a little bit more talk about, maybe we need to do a little bit more here. Unfortunately, politicians move very slowly, but they could help. But they move so doggone slow sometimes. That's what I don't like.
Well, I heard one elected official say that this was happening because of Putin.
Well, I mean, Putin, he did cause the problem because obviously with the war in Ukraine, that has caused some problems. We can't get the oil, and what it's done is destroyed the world oil market is what it's done. Now, if we could pump more oil here in the U.S., that would help tremendously because you put more oil on the market. As I said, you got more supply, it's going to bring down prices. You have less supply, that's going to hurt. So that's what kind of hurts. So if we can turn things around, but they take so long to do things as opposed to taking action, they talk. Let's get this done. It would really help the consumer out tremendously to bring down the prices at the pump for people.
And just looking at your notes here, what specifically, and I'm sorry if I missed it, I don't think I did, what specifically is wage inflation?
Well, wage inflation, it's also called push inflation. This is where, people are asking for more money coming on, to be paid for. They're saying, well, gee, prices are up, I need more money. So you're getting that circle where it keeps going up and up and up. One good thing here is that wage inflation, people are going to be getting paid more. We know that. We see at the stores, people getting more. We see all the signs for employment. The JOLTS report, there's like 5 million excess jobs that are out there that people can have, so they can ask for more money. The good thing about this is that there's something called M2, which is all the liquid money in the economy. It's been about $21 trillion for well over a year now. Now, that again is a lot of money chasing too few goods. But because of wage inflation, it won't be pushed up much higher. It's not like you're making more money, you're going to buy more goods. People are doing very well. And we do hear the comparison here, too, like, oh, this is like the 70s. I'm glad to say it's not like the 70s. Back in the 70s, food and energy accounted for 20% of people's spending. Now it's down to 10% because of such things like, gosh, if you're probably too young to remember, but back in the 70s, cars got maybe 10 miles to the gallon. Look how much more efficient our cars are now. So there's some positives that we see here. And I know many times people want to hear all the negative. There are some things that aren't too bad. And the other thing, too, I talk about is what I call the foundation. We saw, and these are round numbers, we saw gas go from $3 to $6. Well, that's a 100% increase. If it goes up another $3 again, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it did, that's a 50% increase. So what I'm trying to say here is the increases will decline. I don't believe in the second 6 months of the year we're going to have the same increase we had in the first 6 months. So things will get better. Just be patient.
All right, Brent Wilsey, president of Wilsey Asset Management. I'm glad you left it on an encouraging note, Brent. Thanks a lot. That was great.
I always try to do that.
Let's see you soon.